They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But what about the rest of all this beautiful, colourful food? Our parents have been telling us for years, eat your greens, finish all your veggies on your plate. Well, perhaps they were right after all. But should we be eating them raw or cooked? Today we speak to Georgia from Stirring Change about the concept of eating raw food. Georgia, we've always known that it's a great idea to eat more fruits and vegetables, but there's actually an entire diet, you might say lifestyle movement called the raw food diet. By definition, what does that actually mean, and what sort of foods do you include and avoid in a raw food diet?
Okay, so a raw food diet is defined by any food that is not heated above the temperature of 40 degrees Celsius. And so what that actually means is that you can warm food up, you can make a raw soup and still heat it to 40 degrees. It's still considered raw by definition because that's the temperature that enzymes are destroyed, and so as long as they're kept complete and intact, it's considered a raw food.
So what sort of foods would you eat normally on a raw food diet?
So it's predominantly fruits and vegetables with nuts and seeds as well, but also sea vegetables and sprouts. But it doesn't really incorporate what we tend to think of raw food. So raw meat and raw animal products, they don't really come into this diet. It's predominantly a vegan diet.
And what would you say are the main health benefits of eating raw foods as opposed to cooked foods?
Well, first of all, the nutritional component. So whenever we heat food, a lot of the nutrients are destroyed by that process. So if we can eat foods as close to nature as possible, we're going to get all the nutrients that are found in that food, and they're all going to be there. So vitamins B and C are often destroyed somewhat, if not completely, by the cooking process. So that's the first thing. So the other benefit of eating raw food is all the enzymes that raw foods contain. Whenever we heat anything above 40 degrees, we destroy all the enzymes that are found in that food. And what that means is that our body actually has to produce enzymes to break that food down. If we pick an apple off a tree, there's abundant enzymes in that apple to actually help with the digestive process. And so what it means for our body is that it can sit back and relax while we digest that apple, utilising all the enzymes that are contained within the food.
So what happens to the enzymes in foods when you cook foods?
So as soon as we heat food, the enzymes are destroyed. Anytime we go above 40, as I said, these enzymes are destroyed. And so what that means is that the body has to work harder to help digest the food.
And what can people expect when they start adding more raw food into their diet? And is that all it is, just slowly adding more and more raw food into your diet?
Absolutely. I wouldn't recommend anybody goes raw overnight like I did. There was too much of a backlash. I did feel fantastic, but it was hard to stick to. So the easiest way to do it is to just gradually add some things in. So I start with saying smoothies in the morning. If you can, a green smoothie, just 60% fruits and 40% greens, that's a great way to start. And having a salad with lunch every day, and if possible, even a salad with dinner. And that's enough. That's all you need to do, and you'll start feeling the benefits. And usually people report a rise in energy, their skin clears up, they start to just have a positive outlook on life. That's the three main things that I've noticed people saying when they start to include more raw foods.
Okay then, well, do you have any resources that people can go to if they want some inspiration and motivation to start including more raw food in their diet?
Well, hands down, the best thing I've ever done is watch all the health documentaries that have come out, especially the ones that focus on the potential that comes with the raw food diet. And I'd just like to mention a few of them because they were really life-changing for me. And really motivating. Once I'd watched these, I literally went straight to the grocery store to pick up my batch of raw veggies. So the ones that I loved the most, May I Be Frank, is a fantastic story about a really overweight gentleman who was depressed, and three boys that run Cafe Gratitude in LA. They actually took him on and changed his whole life for him. And the difference in him is just incredible. The second one is an Australian documentary called Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead, made by Joe Cross, and he actually goes across America and he helps this really quite sick and depressed trucker who's just come to the end of his health journey. He doesn't know where to turn, and so he rings Joe, and Joe actually helps him, and he goes on a really long juice fast. and he's on all these medications. By the end of the documentary, he's off all of them, and it's just the most inspiring documentary. I cried through the whole thing. And the other one I wanted to mention is Hungry for Change, because that's come out recently. That was the sequel to the first one, which was Food Matters, made by two Australian, James and Laurentine, Australian directors, and that's fantastic. That's just come out recently, and it's a really good practical guide for people that are trying to lose weight and heal their illness in themselves without relying on the medical system. So it's fantastic, yeah.
Well, thank you. That's very inspirational, just that in itself, and also I guess shows the power of raw fruits and vegetables and the raw foods in general, and how they can really help our health.
Absolutely. I really encourage people to give it a go.
Excellent. Thanks, Georgia.
Thank you.
Well, it does appear that an apple a day can keep the doctor away, but so too can many other raw fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and especially those sprouts. If you'd like to know more or would like to watch more episodes of Total Vitality, please visit our website. Thanks so much for watching, and we look forward to your company next time.